Hey everyone, if this is your first time joining me, my name is Alex, and you've picked a very interesting first video to start off with on my channel. You might need tissues. I'm going to try really hard to keep it together, but pre-warning, you might need tissues. So last Tuesday on the 22nd, we said goodbye to our Kage. I've had to say goodbye to a lot of pets in my lifetime already, mostly cats. You know, ferrets and rats and whatever other little critter came into my life. But I've never had to say goodbye to a dog. And I wasn't expecting it to be this painful. I knew it was going to be painful, but not like this. I really feel like somebody has ripped my soul from my body, and I've just been a walking zombie this whole week. And I'm just now starting to function again. I've been somewhat functioning because I have to for the other pets that we have, but I'm finally starting to be able to talk and do more normal daily activities, finally. We got Kage on our 1-year anniversary. He was my gift to my husband, and I was actually kind of opposed to getting him at the time, and like my husband told me when we were dating, he would grow on me like fungus. Well, this dog kind of did too, you know. I mean, he was definitely a different experience than raising a cattle dog, and I didn't realize how much I loved him until the end. Like, I knew I loved him, but and he always was my husband's dog, but he had a special mommy bond with me, like, cause you know, I'm pack leader, but not just that, but we had our own special thing too. But I didn't realize how much love there really was for him until towards the end. Like, I really loved this dog. As much as he drove me crazy, I loved him very much. I'm going through a lot of guilt because even though I know it wasn't a wrong decision to do, it still feels like there was something wrong, like I could have done more. You know, he was diagnosed with canine cognitive dysfunction, or doggy dementia, about 1.5 years ago it started. And that's just been progressively getting worse. And behavior changes were happening, and then he had a lot of trouble with his legs, keeping himself, you know, they would just collapse on him, and weird muscle tremors through his body, and poor dog was even blind too. Not that that would have made any difference to me, because Silver's blind. I'm totally fine with having a blind dog. But his teeth, we knew he had some dental stuff happening about 1 year ago, and you know, there was the decision of should we put him through a surgery because of how he was mentally. And his teeth actually in the last 6 months have been getting really, like, a lot worse, and they started abscessing. And I think the thing that killed me the most when we were deciding what was best for him was people saying, oh, you know, dog dementia, it's fine, you just, you know, you just guide them or pull them out of a corner. And the dog dementia is a lot more than just pulling them out of a corner. But that, we'll get into that some other day. But, or just, you know, go fix his teeth. It's fine, you know. Tooth abscess is fine. Well, he probably had more than one tooth abscessed, and one of the last things he experienced, he had a huge one on the side of his face, and then he had 2 more starting here. So I know there was multiple teeth getting bacteria in there and causing the abscess in his mouth. And he freaked out so bad, he slammed his head into the floor. And, you know, we rushed him and got more antibiotics and more pain meds and stuff. So we could have probably fixed his teeth, but it was like, what about the recovery time? How would he react to recovery? You know, this poor dog who comes back to us and fades in and out of who he is. What would happen if he woke up after surgery? And what if he banged, you know, there was just too many things. And so I'm dealing with a lot of guilt on that part. Even though we tried, like, lots of different things throughout the last year, it just, this last 6 months has been really progressively was worse for him. And the biggest thing that was really pissing me off was all the pain meds that we were trying to, we would go and try different, you know, mixtures of pain medicine to try to help him. And he just kept crying, screaming and howling, even before his teeth started abscessing, you know, or maybe they were and we just didn't see it or something. I don't know. He's always crying in his sleep, pacing, anxiety, like just all kinds of stuff going on with that poor guy. So I know it wasn't a wrong decision, like I said. It just still doesn't feel right. I'm dealing with a lot of guilt, and I'm dealing with a lot of just of missing him. I didn't expect to feel this much pain, and I didn't expect all the little things that I didn't know that he was a part of, you know, like I mean, he was a part of my routine per day, but I just didn't, there was all these like little things that pop up that like hit a chord with me of crying, and like I didn't realize what things would remind me of him that it just didn't realize before. But I know he's not in pain anymore, which is the main thing. But man, we are like very much in emotional pain. This is just something else. I don't know how people go to work the next day. Like, we both just took a week off of everything. Like, we're still struggling, but I'm at least starting to put more food in my system now and not wine. There's been a lot of wine, like a lot of wine, but I'm starting to cook again and make good food. But thankfully we have the rest of the pack, because they've definitely forced me not to crawl up in a ball, because they need me. I'm trying really hard to stick to their routine and make sure that they have their walks and stuff like that. Lucian, I think, knew right away when we came home that day. He just had this look on his face, and it was almost like we looked at, like, he just knew what happened. And then I didn't even think about Fang Fang, our fourth dog, which is really our cat. We just have always called him the fourth dog. So it just, but yeah, Fang Fang, I totally forgot about him. I was so worried about the rest of the pack and how they would handle it. And that poor cat for a couple of days was just crying in the yard looking for him, because he would help Kage back to the house. He was like Kage's like little seeing eye kitty. Fang Fang's such a good cat. He even tries to help Silver get back to the house. Like, he goes out with the dogs and goes potty with them and everything, and then helps them back inside though. So we've had to make sure to comfort him. And Silver, I think it took her maybe 2 days to realize, okay, something's really not right here. Like, you could tell she was like, yeah, she kind of knew, but wasn't sure what was going on. And but now I'm pretty sure she knows. And Gypsy didn't give two hoots. She just acted normal. Besides now trying to move her way up in the pack, which is interesting for me to deal with right now with grief. And Clea definitely is heartbroken. For the first about 3 days, she was really whining and crying. Like, she kind of whines and cries and talks to us anyway, but this was a little bit different. So we're all just trying to make sure the pack's okay and happy and sticking to routine as best we can for them, just to help get them through it too. He was just the sweetest dog, like the sweetest dog, and he was so beautiful. And I'm so honored that I've had him in my life, because he's a Kage, and they're not a popular breed, and I didn't think I would fall in love with the breed too. Like, I'm still a cow dog person, but I definitely know I need to have another Kage in my life someday. But he was so sweet and so goofy and so smart. Like, you know, it's known that Kaikens will think about what you're telling them. Like, they know what they know what you want from them, but they go, nah, I'll do it later. Or, doesn't sound fun enough, I'll just sit here and ignore you. And he was super smart. He used to figure out locks and everything. Like, when we were crate training him, like, he kept getting out of the crate and we didn't understand how, you know, kind of thing. And even one night we came home and he was sitting next to the crate, just so freaking proud. He had unhooked all the things and somehow, I guess, put them back up, but didn't put them, like, all the latches were undone everywhere on the crate. The door was unlatched, everything was unlatched, but yet you could tell he put it back like a puzzle, and he just sat there so proud. Like, I mean, that's how smart he was. I dare say maybe smarter than cattle dogs, but shh, don't tell the healers. An amazing, amazing dog. And it breaks my heart also for my husband, because I've never seen him go through something like this. And yeah, there's still going to be a lot of stuff I need to go through. I think we all need to go through, because we miss him. And it's just, there's just so many emotions that go through this, and so many stupid thoughts that go in your head, and so many stupid questions, and you know, just, and it's all the process of grief, but it all sucks regardless. But we finally got his urn. So yeah, he's home with us, and it's really weird how comforting it is holding this. And it's really weird how it almost feels like I'm getting hugged back from it. I wish I could have done more for him. And the vet office also made us this, which has been my little thing I've been holding when I'm in between gaming and drinking wine. We also got little paw prints made at the vet, and the cemetery actually printed his little snoot. So there's 2 prints of his snoot. And yes, I say snoot instead of snoot, because I think schnoot sounds cuter. It's a little snooty snoot. And then we have a nice big collection of his hair. So I definitely have a lot of stuff for when I'm ready to make his like little memorial thing for him. I think another thing that I'm really feeling guilty about is how much calmer my house is without him. Because all his diseases and the way his behavior was from what was going on in his body was really affecting the pack in a lot of ways. And the quiet that we have now, and the peace during meal times and during just because there was a lot of stuff going on, like, and that just kills me. Like, it breaks my heart, because it's like, I knew he was causing some of it. I knew it was causing, you know, the other dogs to react certain ways to him, but I didn't realize how much, and that really kills me. Like, it pisses me off. Like, how could, because my Bubby was so sweet. He was so sweet. You know, having 4 dogs in the house, you would think the house would still be noisy, and it just was so silent. It's still silent. It's starting to get a little bit louder, but it's still silent. And I feel guilty that my stress and anxiety is gone from taking care of him. That pisses me off too. See, I've got a lot of stuff to go through. A lot of stuff to go through. And I know it's going to take me a while. I mean, this has only been a week, so I know it's going to be longer. I think the one thing that gave me comfort, a lot of comfort, was I joined a Kage group, and kind of like a last minute attempt of like, well, how long do these dogs live for? Because he was just over 12. And I thought that was just so young for him to have all these problems. But, you know, his breed definitely ranges. And I know that always happens with any breed. You never know when you're going to lose them. You know, a breed can supposedly live for 20 years or 15 years, and they can still die at like 8 or 9. But it's kind of like my last reach out of hope type thing, or like reach out of confirmation that I'm doing an okay thing for him. And we actually heard from his the breeder we got him from, and found out that his sister, his litter mate, passed away earlier this summer, and that his mom died of the age of 13. So that gave me a lot of comfort, because at least Bubby has, you know, somebody on the other side waiting for him, and somebody else that can help guide him. You know, I know eventually I'll be okay, and I'm kind of okay now. Like, I'm better, but yeah, this is tough, and I'm trying just really hard to like focus on things coming up. We got the girl's birthday this week. They're turning 2. Silver turns 15. Lucian, the miracle puppy, you know, turns, well, technically he probably turned 10 this month. We never knew his birthday, but we always celebrated his birthday the day after Silver's, just so I could remember. But so all my healers are having birthdays, so I'm trying to look forward to the good stuff. And that's really hard. You know, I know my channel is the healer mama, but it's like, damn, I really am the healer mama. I don't have my Kage. I don't have my fuzzy bear. I think it's funny, one site I found actually showed a picture of a Kage and a healer, and it said, this is a cow dog, this is not. And I was like, why are they comparing the two? Like, but then I thought about, like, well, you know, there are some similarities there. So, but he was our little shadow, our little fuzzy shadow. It's actually what Kage means in Japanese, is shadow. But it's, you know, Japanese spits, Japanese name. Anyway, so a little teary-eyed video. It was better than I have been. So I will be getting back to the videos soon, and yeah, where they're not so emotionally upsetting, depressing. But hey, this is all part of life. We have to have the good and the bad, right? To have the balance, or something like that. Thank you for watching and for listening and for your support. It means the world to me. It really does. I think that's the best thing us pet parents can do, is try to be there for each other and support each other through the good and the bad. So anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. So bye. Hi, love. Hi, love. Yes, hello. You get mommy through the tough times? Say, yeah, she gets. Yeah, you climbing up here? You want to say hi to everybody on the camera? Hmm? See, this is what also helps me get through life. Having more dogs around. You guys probably want dinner, don't you? You hungry? You want food?